First, I want to give glory to God for these feats, the 1 year. The journey to the National Assembly is not an easy one. And every day and every opportunity that I have, I should be able to tell God Almighty, thank you. We're here, and it's been quite eventful. It's been challenging. It's been fulfilling because first we came in and met a set of leadership that is ready to let the new ones like us that just came in go. They've been very supportive, and so far I think it's been quite eventful, and I'm happy I am one of them. Look at where I'm coming from, who am I, and what makes the man Ben Igbakpa. I am a village boy. I'm somebody I'm a nobody who by the special grace of God has grown to be what I am today. So I think it will only be foolhardy for somebody who's coming from that background, from the average home, I wouldn't say a poor home, the average home, and having the support base. Today I tell you that my biggest asset and strength politically is the people at the grassroots. So forgoing that set of people and leaving because you are there, breaking the ladder will be my biggest undoing. So that is why I remain attached to them, I remain committed to them, and I say my service is actually to God and to those people at the grassroots that have always stood by me, judging from my House of Assembly days to when I serve as commissioner and to where I am today. So it's actually, I'll say they are my platform, they are the ladder, they are the steps, they are the bedrock of what I am. So there's no way I can do without them. Yes, the primary responsibility of a lawmaker, it's like you said, is lawmaking, oversight function, and representation. Representation is when you speak for your people. Lawmaking is one of them, and ensuring that the implementation of, especially where it has to do with budgeting and expenditure, government expenditure, to look out for it and be sure that there's value for money. So talking about the number of bills that has come through me, I remember I have the amendment of Section 47 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, that has to do with the governors, the elected presidents and governors, bringing in ministers and commissioners with the portfolio attached, and so that when screening, you know what you're screening for. That's one. Then a time lag too, that a maximum of 30 days, the moment you are sworn in, you should be able to produce the list of your commissioners and your ministers, unlike what is obtainable now, where people, elected president and elected governors, some stay up to a year, and they run the states and the nation as a sole administrator kind of thing, a yeoman thing. That is unacceptable. So that's one. Then two, I did the one for to avoid to prohibit stigmatization of victims of militancy and insurgency. Because today, once these insurgents, once they kidnap somebody, take the person into their den, and the moment you come back, they certainly look at you as somebody that has been critically radicalized, and fitting in, people are afraid of you. So that's one. Then I have the establishment of Federal Medical Center Ogara, which is has gone through the second reading too. Then I have the one for electricity sector amendment on the Electricity Regulation Commission, which has to do with if you spend money, because presently what is obtainable in the electricity sector, the discos don't really care anymore, because they believe when the people don't have electricity, they will bring out their money, they buy transformer, they buy cables, they buy whatever fuse. The moment you buy those transformer, install them, then discos will come with their bill the next day to ask you for bill, for payment. For most times, not even electricity consumed. The primary responsibility of consumers is to pay their bill, while that of the disco is to provide efficient, safe, clean energy, affordable energy to the people. And the people, the only responsibility that we have as Nigerians and as consumers is to pay the bill. It is not our responsibility to go and be buying transformers. It's not our responsibility to be buying cables. It's not our responsibility to fix any equipment. So, because by the time they have that the moment the persons pay or the community pay for this item, it's going to be given to them back as energy credit, because it will be difficult for the discos to pay cash to them. So instead, once the amendment is couched in such a way, once a faulty equipment is noticed, you do a letter to them within 24 hours. Once they know that such a thing is, you give them another 24 hours. If there's nothing coming from them, you submit a bill to them that this is what an expert have looked into and this is what it's going to cost. You submit it to them and you go ahead and fix it. The moment you fix it, it is their responsibility now to take it up and give you energy credit to the tune of that expenses. That every month when your bill comes, you are on credit. You pay that gradually. You use up the energy until it's exhausted. That is when you start paying. Two things will happen when that bill comes on stream. One, the discos will now know that if they don't wake up to their responsibility, they are only pushing the doomsday because they must still pay. Yes, it will be good. If they don't have money to do it, the people will do it, and the people will be happy too. That whatever I am doing, nobody is taking my money. Unlike what it is now, where you just spend money and the next thing you see is bill. I want to salute the speaker on the amendment he brought too on the estimated billing, which is now criminalized by the time Mr. President signed those piece of legislation. So that's another. Then we have the State of the Nation address. The State of the Nation address is still awaiting second reading. The State of the Nation address is to mandate the President and of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to, within 6 months after enacting of a bill of appropriation, they should come and tell the nation how the economy is going, how security is going, how the social, whatever policies that are encapsulated in that law of appropriation, how far they have implemented, the level of implementation, how many percentage in terms of fund release, how is our security architecture doing, what has been spent into it, what is our transport sector doing, what is the health sector doing. So Mr. President, with that, and the governors with that, should come back to the national and the state assemblies to speak to the people. So this is how far we have gone. Unlike what it is now, where we have to beg our president and our governor to talk to us. It should be a law making it mandatory for them to come out and talk to Nigerians at least 6 months into a new budget every year. They should tell us, and after that, maybe if there are issues, they discuss, they tell the National Assembly, they will go. Then when they have left, the National Assembly will look at the address they are giving. There will be opportunity for the National Assembly or the State Assembly to ask questions what they don't understand, so that Mr. President or the governor will explain there. Nigerians will hear, we will hear, and by the time he leaves, we can now deliberate on issues raised and come out with a resolution of the House, which will forward to the executive for implementation. That is that, and we have so many. I think so far we have about 7-8 bills that are still on the pipeline. Okay. That have gone through the first reading. We're looking at the second reading. You know, it's a House of 360 members, yes. and bills are coming in every day. So it's actually taking some time for them to come out of the mail. Okay. Then talking about motion, we've done quite a lot. We have, as of today, we should be talking about 15 motions, which are very, very dear to my heart. They've gone through security, some have gone through infrastructure, some have gone through human rights. Quite a lot of them. So far, I believe we are first timers. We're doing our bit that we're supposed to do. I think Nigeria should actually allow the two arms of government to function as equals and as colleagues that we are. What matter is the interest of the nation. We should not look at our personal interests or what it should be. Yes, the people should talk from outside. When they talk from outside, they guide our activities and our action. We're not talking about criticism. We're ready to be criticized. But while criticizing, please be very, very, very constructive and be a critic that will bring about something that will better the Nigerian nation, not just critic to bring about crises and confrontations. Like I said, it's not about
people, unless there are issues, I don't know if there's any particular issue you expected the legislature to speak up when they did not speak up. We were vehement when we said that Mr. President should drop the service chiefs. We came out. The president didn't want to drop, but we came out. There are several times we've made far-reaching recommendations that are not really they are not meant for offense. But it is because of our work. And we came with a purpose that, look, we are not here to create friction. We are not here to disintegrate our government. We want to work as a team. And in working as a team, we look at both what the president, what the executive arm is bringing, the legislature look at it and say, okay, most times there are so many discussions that you will not see behind the camera discussion. They come together, they agree on certain things, so that when it comes to the House or the Senate, it goes smooth. Because I believe governance is about understanding each other. It's about discussion. It's about talking. It's about a roundtable discussion. And once you are able to get a roundtable discussion, things come out easy. It's like me and you. If today we arrange for an interview and you're here with me, if I didn't arrange with you and you're just coming and bumping into me, I'll tell you, oh, probably I want to be in the house. Because so I want to assure you that the legislature and the executive, they are constantly talking. They are fine-tuning whatever policy that is. Look at the issue of this money that is being given out by the Ministry of Humanitarian. You see how the National Assembly came out to say, no, this thing is not being done well. Who are the people that are benefiting from it? There are times we have to speak out. You see how the Mr. Speaker tackled the Minister of Health and come. Not too long ago, we brought all the security chiefs of the country to the House of Reps, and we questioned them. And I remember myself particularly asking them that we have passed a lot of motions. In the same line, people come when you are representing people, and at a point people will tell you, we are tired of you, we don't want you to represent us. People will resign, throw in the towel. And I asked them there, why have you not resigned? Because whatever we say as parliamentarian, it is the opinion of our constituents. And when our constituents tell us that these people are not doing well, these people are not serving us, these people are not going, the issue of the security is becoming worse, and you are still seated. We have passed about 5 motions calling on these service chiefs to go, and they are yet to go. They were with us. They were with us, and I asked them, why are you still sitting here? Because you ought to have gone in a climate where people have conscience. If you have a tactics that is not working, and you've tried everything and it seems to be failing you, the best thing to do is to throw in the towel and leave. Why have you not left? So we questioned them, we asked them. That, I think, it's oversight. There are several ministries today now. The Public Account Committee is dealing with the audit queries of most of these ministries and agencies of government. We're asking questions. Even the COVID-19 that is on, we've taken them on and we're asking them, how much have you spent? How much have you received? What did you do with it? So we're asking, but it's not all rosy the way the people look at it from outside. Well, our constitution need overhauling. Not too long ago, I see the issue of people coming with a parliamentary system of government. Okay. Why I will not subscribe to parliamentary system of government for now. Nigeria is not matured for it. Okay. We're talking because in a parliamentary system of government, you will understand that there's a lot of uncertainties. Because once the parliament lost confidence on you as the head, you are bound to go. You're supposed to go. But this is Africa, this is Nigeria. Are you sure if we lose confidence on a sitting president or prime minister, whatever will be the name, the nomenclature then, are you sure he will go? We don't resign. We don't resign. We don't get tired. We don't just say, oh, the people don't want me, let me walk away. But there, look at England that they're looking at. If today there's a vote and they say that vote of no confidence on the prime minister, he's on his way, he picks his bag and he leaves. But this is Africa, this is Nigeria, where we have sit-tight government, where nobody will want to go. So you cannot just oppose what we have now, which is a 4-year term government, and a government that can come in within 2 months because if something is wrong, then they just say, no, we don't want him again, he leaves. Have you talked about the instability that will come in? And that instability can lead to some other crises that will envelope the entire nation and will not have the peace we're having. So for now, what we can manage, though pretty expensive, I agree, but that is the constitution that we have, and that's the constitution that fits us now as a nation. Maybe with time, over time, when our democracy has grown, when people with conscience has come into government, when people that can stand up and say, no, this is not what I promised, I couldn't deliver. Why did the British Prime Minister that led before the last woman? Just because the issue was that of I'll take us to basics. And there was a vote, and they said no, the people did not accept. Because he could not do that, he left. Okay. But this is a country where you tell the people, I am going to give you rule from here to Delta State, and even if you don't do that, nothing happens. They take it as a promise, and the next thing is, oh, there was no money to do it. So we must look at our peculiarity and walk along with that peculiarity for now. Again, talking about our constitutional journey that we really need to rejig. For me, the biggest thing that will happen to Nigeria is to go into the restructuring. For me, my restructure is that of devolution of powers, okay, where we have to give powers to the regions. In this case, the states. You manage your resources. There will be peer review and there will be competition. And I believe, I tell you here, and I can take you to the bank, that our economy will be better for it. Because if you see a governor doing well, you have groundnut, and your groundnut, you know that now you have to depend on groundnut. You are not coming to Abuja with cap in hand to beg for the allocation, annual allocation. You that is in the south side, you have your oil. You cannot drink oil. You are going to take the groundnut from the north. You are going to take whatever is in other areas. You are going to take the cocoa from the west. So there will be that inter-regional trading, and everybody will now start sitting tight, because the way it is now, we are all being spoon-fed, and it's not good. And that is why you see that there's a rip-off cry from some region of the country. Today there are issues of certain agencies like the NNPC, the structure of their employment, where certain region of the country is overloaded, right? Where back home in the south, there's nothing to cry. So you see, the complaints are everywhere. So the best thing to do is to restructure the country and release these powers, these exclusive powers given to the center. Remove them. Let the center be light and give the region that weight to carry. They pay royalties to the center. Look at what is happening in the United States. You can imagine President Trump cannot even say, oh, we are opening economy or we are closing economy, because these are the rights of the governors. But here in Nigeria, we don't have that. There's this quasi form of leadership where the center control the state just because you are giving them money. So I think there's need for us to really go into restructuring, work on our constitution, devolve power to the regions, so that every state can know what they have and harness what they have and do well. Well, looking at where I am coming from and where I am, for me, my philosophy of life is it's not in never falling, okay, but be ready to fall and be sure that you have the capacity to stand.
Okay.
Because our life is full of landmines. So you must fall. Don't be afraid of falling, but be ready at the back of your mind that you have the capacity to stand every time you fall. Okay. Someday you will not fall again. You stand and even be the pillar. Okay. Stand up. Well, what I want to be remembered for is the fact that I came with an agenda. I gave my all to achieve that agenda. And presently in my constituency, I think I've been able to define that. Okay. I think what we're looking at is getting it on a national scale. Okay. Because you don't query people on what they did not promise. You evaluate people based on what they promised. For me, for anybody that is fair and want to judge me based on my to evaluate me is the fact that I told them that I'll come to Abuja. You will hear my voice back here. You see my footprints back home, and you'll be proud to say, yes, I am part of this project, and that we are doing already. So for now, I know we already carved our niche for ourselves, and our people believe it has never been this good. Well, I think this is very good. It's something that really need to be discussed. It's because a lot of people don't really understand. One, we have to change our orientation, our political orientation. It is not really the responsibility of lawmakers to go and build bridges. It's not them to go and buy cars and this and that. You can only nominate a project because of the function of representation. That is one of the three cardinal objectives and functions of a lawmaker. Because of that function of representation, when there is a problem in your area, you should bring it up, raise it, follow it up, and see so that government can hear the cry of your people. Like when I said, oh, my bridge is falling, and the bridge in my constituency is falling. It's something that's representation, and by the grace of God, special thanks to the executive arm and the Minister of Works, that bridge has been awarded. Okay, and I know in no distance time they will start work. So those are the things we should do. They should not expect me to marry for you. Your wife is pregnant, I have to be the one to take care of the antenatal. When she's delivering, I have to discharge her from the hospital. When your child is in school, it is my responsibility. I think people should learn to own up and be responsible. So because they put pressure on you. You're contesting election, everybody wants you to bring money. If you don't bring money, nobody supports you. Because that, again, will bring about churning in mediocres as representatives because they have money. Those that don't have money and they have good idea, they are principled people to deal with issues, they will not be listened to because they don't have money. So you need a lot of name, you need a lot of money, and that's why our elections are too expensive. And when you take all the money that I have before coming to office, when I get to the office, I think I'll think about how I can recoup my money. So the little I get, I want to save. Because maybe if the person is coming back, you think about this is the road I passed before, I need to be prepared to get to. So it doesn't do well. That's why you see some persons not really performing, because you have made them dry in the course of the election and they want to recoup, probably to come back a second time. So I think it's a topic that I would say employ people in the media to try and reorientate our people so that they know that these are the responsibilities that a legislator is expected to perform. What is padding? Padding, it is, you must look at the constitutional provision. Okay. A budget is a law. It's a law. It's a bill that comes to the House and we go through it, then the president signs it and it becomes a law. It is our responsibility to make laws. So if you bring, unless you want us to be the rubber stamp that you are crying about, because if you bring a budget and the House of Representatives or the National Assembly deem it fit, because we are the true representative of the people, so we know what is required in our various constituencies, and we deem it fit and no, this is not good for this area, this is what is good for it, and there's an alteration to your initial plan. That does not mean padding. Padding should be when Mr. President has assented to it and you are now putting something different above the figure that is supposed to be. If you are within the figure, if you are within the NDDC's budget is approved along with the national budget. Yes. So what it brings naturally is just that was approved in the budget. Is it that there's a special project that must be this and the money is reduced and used in some other places? For me, I think nothing has been done. No crime has been committed, no infraction of any sort, because it is the responsibility of the National Assembly vis-a-vis the committees, the House standing committees, to ensure that the budget of their various committees are in tandem with the requisition and needs assessment of their constituencies. So I don't see that is malicious, that is evil, that is wicked, and it does not hold water in any way. I have never known another political party since the present democracy. Okay. I've been a member of PDP. I'm from Delta State, and I'm from Ethiope West, which is regarded as the home of PDP in Delta State. And we've always been in PDP. So when I see, I came and Honorable Chinda and my dear brother, I consider them leaders because they've been there. They are seniors in the National Assembly. I came from the State House of Assembly, and during our orientation, we made to understand that whatever experience you gather there does not matter. It's personal to you. Yes, which is good. We're using it. So when I see that two persons, one was announced in the House, one because once the gavel goes, that is a binding resolution in the House. Some names have been listed, led by Honorable Ndidi Olumelu, which is the one that is sanctioned by the House. Then the other one is my dear brother Shinda and the other colleagues. So when I saw it, and a leader asked me, "Who is your minority leader?" And I said, he said, "But look at this newspaper." So I consider that embarrassing, and embarrassing and confusing, and I had to bring it here because it's no longer a matter of PDP; it's a matter of the House under other what do you call it? Other matter of privilege. Okay. And but be that as it may, I must tell you that we are a house, we are a party, very willing to whatever it is, and I believe the leadership they are dealing with it. Okay. So I wouldn't know. My own is to say it. I've said it. They are dealing with it. For me, I always sue for peace. Okay. But if there are issues, you bring it to the fore. People can see that, look at it with their four eyes, and say, okay, this is the best way to deal with it. So that is being dealt with as requested. But I know that there's no cause for alarm. Our party is firm. Our party is strong, and we are all together as a body. Our governor, Senator Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa, is about one of the foremost governor to take precaution. Very, very proactive one. You remember when even before the lockdown, Delta State lockdown, the boundaries of the state, and put in place isolation centers, treatment centers. He's a medical doctor, so he understands the implication of what is coming. He knew that it's going to come to this level. That is why he prepared for it. You need to go to Delta State and see the isolation centers in various places. Okay. And what is happening, why the surge, the present surge, is a lot of the wrap-up they are doing in terms of testing. Fortunately, we were with the governor not too long ago, and he briefed us on what he's doing, which is well, very, very well in order. I locked down the boundaries, set up committees, task force to go, and we shut down before others, and presently they are doing massive testing, contact tracing, and yes, to avoid this community spread. That is the issue now. Okay. So what the numbers, the figures you're seeing from Delta State are actually people that have as a result of contact. Not that everybody is sick, but it's as a result of contact tracing, and they are doing massive testing. Some states are living in their own denial, because if you're not testing, you'll not see more persons. But there's need to test, know them, isolate them. Maybe after some time they might not be sick, or especially those ones that are asymptomatic. So it is like that. And for the daughter, my prayers are with her and the family. His Excellency is a very careful man. He's been up and doing. He virtually locked down everything to ensure that this COVID-19 is tackled in Delta State, and God will stand by him so that he can actually get that which he considers good for the state. We're locked down about 2 weeks even before the national lockdown. Okay. In other states. We had to put up resources to ensure that palliatives are sent to our people. That we have done. individually and collectively. After that, then a group of people that are little that can, whatever you can contribute to one bag of rice, then we did that again. I extended my hand to both local government that I represent in whatever capacity that I can do before the state government brought their own again. And we are still on it. We are still on it.
Okay.
We've not,
so is it continuous?
yes, we've not given up because it affected a lot of these people, especially those people that are on daily income, those people that are selling along the road. In that process, people are no longer, the movement is not what it used to be. Those that are running small beer parlor, small clubs, they don't have business now because they are all shut down. So you continue, whatever, no matter how small, is something. Today I've even done some because they keep coming and you have to, whatever. Now it's not about giving so much, but the little you can give to save the situation that very moment. That's what we do. You will appreciate where I'm coming from. I am a legislator. I have done it before. I am having served as a deputy chief whip and later deputy majority leader, and I function as an acting majority leader for more than a year in 2007. So you look at it that the experience is there. You will not take me like people that are just coming into the legislative business for the first time. It takes time to get used to it. We're used to it. At times some people, they have something to say, but they say, oh, what if I say it like this? What would they say? There are people that are camera shy. There are people that might not want to say it because they don't want to make mistake. I am not that kind of person. I want to learn. If I make mistake today, correct me tomorrow. I'll come out better. So that's exactly what it is. And I have my own dream. In the course of the election, I look at things. I had so many things I've drawn. It's just that we are very many. So the bills and the motions are coming. There are so many motions and bills that are pending. Maybe one day the business and rule will start looking at them and taking them as a come. If they are taking them as a come, it will be good. We'll have something to tell Nigerians at the end of 4 years. When I believe in a cause, I am one person that I'm highly independent minded, and when I believe this is a cause that is worth fighting, we'll fight it. I remember when I moved the motion for the review of Chinese loans and this and that, and so many people said, oh, why are you? And I told them, well, that's what I believe. That's what the majority of Nigerians are asking. Most time, we don't just come up with these bills and emotion. We come from the feelers we get from outside and how people are asking questions. When they ask you, what are people looking? Are people looking at this angle? Then you need to look at it and see what is. The world is a global village. Now, going to the internet, you see that actually there are some infractions here and there. So whatever I'm doing is as a result of the feedback I get from my constituents. And we want to let them know, okay, you say it, we do it. I have never been controversial, but I believe that whatever is worth doing well. Let us bring it to national discourse. Let us see how it is going. Let us look at it. I came with a motion to investigate Delta Steel Company. I'm happy Alaja is coming on stream, but Delta Steel Company, Alaja will not function optimally without the Delta Steel Company coming on stream.
Okay.
I have looked at it, I've seen some documents on it. Until Alaja is functional the way it ought to function, the Ajakuta will not function optimally. So we need to look at all those things. Maybe by the time we resume, I've spoken to Mr. Speaker on the need for that investigation to kick off, because I don't know why it has delayed. Maybe the chairman has not been around, but I need to follow up. I spoke with the deputy chairman, who is very, very eager to get that done. These are things we need to do, things that will create jobs. We need to do things that will bring our economy back to the pride of place. Nigeria is drifting apart. We are drifting so fast that if we are not careful, we slide into a recession that will start begging for food in this country. So we need to do something drastic. We're in a drastic situation. Even before COVID-19, it was not well. COVID-19 has further worsened our situation, and it's time for everybody to come on board to see whatever we can look at to see that the Nigeria state does not turn out to be a beggar state. My message is that of hope, that it is not over. I listened to a very popular man of God on TV every evening, and he said, it is not over until you win. We are going to win. We came with a plan, a blueprint. And if you look at it for the past 1 year, I have been busy interpreting that blueprint. We have not done badly. Yes, COVID-19 has altered our calendar, but by the special grace of God and a deed of hard work, we'll get to where we're supposed to be. Just believe in me. Pray for our leaders, our governor, our president, the government of Nigeria, our private sector, because they are actually the backbone of the economy. CBN is doing a lot this period with the release of some stimulus package to help the private sector grow our MSME. We're here to serve, and by the grace of God, by the time we are done serving for the 8 months, we'll have a good story to tell you.